In this video, I would like to discuss the Igcse's eMusic past papers, June 2018, paper 11, and the section A part. So let's look at the questions. We will look at A1 and A2. Each extract will be played 4 times with a pause between each playing. And we know by now that they give you a lot of time to read through your questions. Music A1. You will hear an extract from a piece for a solo voice and 2 instruments. The words are given below. Read through questions 1 to 4, and then they give you 8 lines of texts. Now the first one, which of the following describes the texture of line 1? Line 1, heterophonic, homophonic, monophonic, polyphonic. Then number 2, what type of voice is heard? To B, which 2 instruments accompany the voice? Bassoon and clarinet, bassoon and flute, clarinet and flute, flute and oboe. And then, number 3, how does this music played by the instruments immediately before and during lines 5 and 6 help to suggest the meaning of the words? Beasts did leap and birds did sing. Trees did grow and plants did spring. That's for 2 marks. When was this music written? So the time period. And give 2 reasons for your answer. So another 2 marks there. So let's listen for the music. Wait for the music to start. And you can read through the words there. First question is about texture of line 1. And we know heterophonic, what that means. Homophonic, what that means. Monophonic and polyphonic. Okay, monophonic, 1 sound, homophonic, melody and accompaniment, polyphonic, many sounds together, heterophonic, 1 main tune. Okay, if you're unsure about the sound of the voice, go through a soprano, alto, tenor, baritone,
now
bass.
Listen to music A1 and answer the questions.
Let's go through that line now. That's line 1. They ask you about the music before line 5. I'm sure that you heard the voice type now, and you heard the texture of line 1. So let's look at other questions there. The 2 instruments accompany the voice. And again, we have the instruments from Peter and the Wolf. So you have to now listen the second time to this combination. And then how does this music played by the instruments immediately before and during lines 5 help to suggest the meaning of the words? Okay.
Music A1, second playing.
So let's see there. And there's line 5 now. So there you have possible things that you can listen for. Is the tempo faster? The notes faster? When the birds sing, do you have higher pitches there? Do you have other more instruments added, or that they play together? I'm sure you heard the flute. So it's either the flute. So you've got the flute. Is that a low bassoon? Is that the clarinet that sounds like the cat? Or is that the
Music
flute and the
A1,
oboe?
third playing.
So now let's go to this. When was this music written? Give 2 reasons for your answer. Look at the modern music. That melody is angular, wide range of pitch, extreme registers. Dynamics, extreme. Rhythm is free. Instrumentation, unusual accompanying instruments. Tonality is ambiguous. Sounds atonal. Okay, so I'm sure that you could recognize 20th century music now, because the melody was quite angular. She had to sing huge leaps at a wide range of pitches, extremes of register. Okay, the instrumentation is an unusual combination. Okay, so let's listen. That instrument sounds like the cat. Increase in tempo, faster notes, higher tessitura. Okay, rising intervals. Okay, have that trills and ornaments, accented notes. Okay, and they perform together. And we heard that angular melody with a wide range of pitch, extremes of register, unusual accompanying instruments, and the chromatic and dissonant, okay, and ambiguous tonality. So it was very important that you heard the monophonic texture in the beginning. We know monophonic is one sound. This could be one singer or instrumentalist singing or playing one line of music. It was not homophonic. There was no instruments added to that. I'm sure that you could hear the soprano. And if you're unsure about, I'm sure that you heard the flute. The bassoon plays it's the grandfather. So if you're still unsure about the clarinet or the oboe, go through those instruments again. Okay? And I'm sure that you could answer this question of before and after or during line 5 and 6. Okay? What happened there? We went through that answer. And go through your 20th century music if you didn't find or answer that as being modern. I could hear the angular melodies, wide range of pitch, extremes of register. Dynamics, I wouldn't write anything about the dynamics. The rhythm was free and unusual accompanying instruments. We're not used to not having a piano as an accompanying instrument. And it was atonal. So go through the things if you do not understand this yet. A2, you will hear an extract from an instrumental piece. Look at the skeleton score, so they give you a skeleton score. The extract begins with a chord 1. In which bar does this first, the chord changes? So you have to listen and try and find the tonic so that you can hear where it changes. Briefly describe the accompaniment in bars 1 to 10. Okay, so that's for 2 marks. And then describe how the extract continues after the printed music. So look at your Dr. Smith and work that out. And what type of ensemble is playing here? Do you have a piano trio or a string orchestra, string quartet, or a wind quintet? And then who composed this music? So now you have to know your periods. Is it a modern, baroque, classical, and work that out. Okay, so let's listen to the music. And while we wait for the music to start, look at the notes that you get there. I see a lot of chromatic notes there. I wonder whether this now will be Handel. Okay, because they also give me, Handel or Haydn. Let's see what else they ask you. The extract begins with a chord 1, the tonic. In which part does this chord first changes? And when I describe accompaniment, okay, think of, is it an ostinato pattern? Is it broken chords or a scale?
Now listen to music
Let's
A2
listen to
and
that.
answer the questions.
Same tonic still there. Listen to the accompaniment. And how does this change now? I hear another instrument playing the melody now. And think of your Dr. Smith when you have to describe what changes. And I'm sure you've got the type of ensemble playing here now. Okay? Did you hear strings? Did you hear wind instruments? Did you hear a piano trio? So let's look at that skeleton score again. And you've got to listen now to the accompaniment in this part that you see here. Listen
Music
to where
A2,
so you have to count 6 in a bar to know where the harmony changes. Bar 4 now. 3, 4, 5, 6. And there I hear the change. And listen to what changes now. You have to say what changes or describe how it continues, not what changes, how it continues. Try and sing your tonic and work out where you hear difference. How do I describe accompaniment? Copying the melodic line, giving harmonic support, chordal, broken chords, ostinato patterns, scales, on
Music
the beat,
A2,
off the
third
beat,
playing.
if strings bowed or plucked. Okay? Describe the dynamics, the rhythm, the scale, the key change, the articulation. I hear ostinato. I hear broken chords there. Sometimes it's syncopated. It sounds a little bit more quiet there after bar 10. Let me make it a little bit bigger. So that change was in bar 5. If you didn't hear it, go through that again. The answer that they have there is ostinato, repeated patterns, syncopated second violin, pizzicato. Okay. After bar 10, the melody is repeated, played by the cello. It was a string quartet. The music was Dvorak. And after bar 10, the accompaniment was higher, it was quieter, okay? And if you're not sure about some of these answers, go through the things that you do not understand and good luck with your studies.